Back. You're very welcome back to D15 Today here on 92.5 Phoenix FM. Thanks very much, Sonia and Bay, for letting me join you for this one.
We're delighted to have you, Sean.
I think we had to let you, since you're the expert on this one.
I definitely wouldn't go as far as to say expert. But yeah, so anyway, up next now, we're joined on the line by, and I'm going to pronounce your first name incorrectly, I do apologise. Is it Lukasz?
Hello, it's Conor you're speaking to.
I'm speaking to Conor now. Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, Conor Dillon.
Oh, how's it going, Conor? Good morning.
Good morning. Good to be on.
Welcome to the show. Great to have you on. So we're talking about the D15 Jiu-Jitsu Academy, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Academy, and we're going to have a little chat about maybe what you have going on over the summer and stuff like that as well. But for people who maybe wouldn't be knowledgeable about it or wouldn't know much about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, could you maybe just give a little overview for people of what the martial art actually is?
Yeah, no, definitely that'd be cool. Basically, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu came from Japanese Jiu-Jitsu. It was refined in Brazil by the Gracie family, kind of over 40 or 50 years, stretching from the 30s onwards. And it was just a continuation from Judo and Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, which meant when it goes to the ground, it's not over. You have to keep going until somebody gives up, but it's all submissions and chokes and stuff. There's actually no striking at all in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
And I think that's one thing a lot of people maybe wouldn't realise starting off, that's what it is. It's a grappling art, and it does spend, obviously, it's focused on staying on the ground and working on the ground.
Yeah, but as well as that, it's probably the number one self-defence as well. Obviously, there's differences between sport jiu-jitsu and self-defence jiu-jitsu, but in regard to self-defence, if you're training Brazilian jiu-jitsu, you're probably on the best ones,
Yeah, well, I mean, I suppose you look at it from a realistic standpoint. If you're talking about it as a means of self-defence, unfortunately, if you've ever seen fights in a real life situation, most of them do go to the ground at some point or turn into a grappling match in a sense anyway.
Yeah, so no, it's a great tool to have. Obviously then, what you'd see in, it's been used then for MMA and that, but that's different. We just do gi and no gi jiu-jitsu, which means it's the kimono, basically training the kimono, and then once a week we train without the kimono as well, which it's called no gi. So, but it's all jiu-jitsu,
That's it, absolutely. And you mentioned obviously the Gracie family, and it's starting off kind of there. You guys are actually affiliated with Carlson Gracie, is that correct?
Carlson Gracie team. We're very lucky to have got affiliated with them in 2017. With Coach Enrique Cervera coming over. He's a 4th degree black belt. He's a brown belt world champion, and he's actually an 11-time São Paulo champion, which is prestigious to win. São Paulo's a big place in Brazil. Sometimes it can be harder than even maybe European or world championships. It's just the people won't be able to travel, but there's a high volume of competitors in Brazil, so it's very hard tournaments to win over there.
Absolutely, and especially with it being such a big sport over there as well. I mean, it's part of their culture to an extent.
Yeah, now Enrique's dad, Orlando, is actually a red belt, so they're very, very rare. There's only maybe, I think, between 40 and 45 red belts in the world, but you have to hold a black belt for 46 years.
Wow. And
before you can get a red belt. So there's not many people are still alive, You have to start young and you have to keep going.
Because, I mean, you take into account how long it takes just to get to a black belt in the first place.
And
then to hold that for over 40 years. That's unreal.
Yeah, the average is 11 years it takes to get a black belt on average. But then you need a further 46 to qualify to get a red belt. So it's a big honour.
Absolutely.
But Enrique's dad is a red belt, so it's in his family a long time.
And that's something as well, people maybe listening who might be familiar with, say martial arts that have been, I suppose, common in Ireland for a lot longer, like the likes of karate and taekwondo and stuff like that, might hear something like that, like 11 years to get to a black belt, and realise it's actually quite a long time in comparison to other martial arts.
It is, yeah. It's just, I suppose the system of it, the Gracies wanted to keep the quality, and they realised it couldn't be learned very quickly. It was just time on the mat. So obviously other people will get it quicker, but it's time on the mat.
Yeah.
And, they don't want to dilute the sport by throwing out belts. It's stringent enough, but once you spend the time on the mat, that's the key. You spend the time on the mat, you will get better. You'll have your bad days, your good days, but you'll ultimately get better.
Absolutely.
Time spent.
So for people who want to get involved with you guys, you've actually had a pretty successful competition team yourselves, haven't you?
Yeah, no, we're doing pretty good now. Our youth teams are the best, to be honest. Last year we took a squad over to the Junior World Championships in Wolverhampton, and we came third in that, which meant obviously there's individual first, second and third for each competitor in Jiu-Jitsu, but it's always team-based as well. So any tournament you go to, there'll be individual prizes or medals, winners, but also a team. Whoever gets the most wins or who gets the most points as a team. So at the World Championships last year, we came third, which was pretty good,
Yeah, because obviously that means your entire team had to be competing at a pretty high level there.
Yeah, so we third place on most wins. And then in the Irish Open this year, it was the first time that the IBJJF had took it over, actually. We came first in that with the youth team.
Oh, wow.
And we came sixth on the adults, so still a good bit of work to do on the adults, but the youth teams are really good. A lot of talent coming up there.
That's fantastic, and it's a great sign for yourselves for the future that the youth team are doing so well.
Yeah, no, it's really exciting. And they're great kids,
So for people who might be interested in getting involved, like actually giving jiu-jitsu a go for the first time, obviously you do kids groups, but you'd have adult stuff as well. What kind of age groups can get involved with your classes?
Well, basically the youngest is we do a class with 4 and 5 year olds. Then 6 and 7 year olds is a separate class. 8 and 9 year olds is a separate class, and then we do 10 to 14. And usually then, depending, like the 10 to 14s, some of those 13, 14 year olds will make the transition over then to the adults class because they're kind of getting to that level. But basically from 4 years of age up, we cater for individual classes. And then there's adults train 3 mornings a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 o'clock in the morning. So there's AM classes, and then it's 7 o'clock every night. So there's plenty on, and it's flexible enough. If you want to start off, there's morning and evening training.
Brilliant. And your best bet with that would be just go down and get involved in a class, even if maybe you're I suppose not feeling like your fitness level is there. It's a good way to get fit and get into doing it.
For sure. No one's ever pushed or thrown in the deep end. It's just you'll be showing your few bits and warm-ups and stretches and all that. It's a very relaxed atmosphere, it's not your typical, Karate Kid setting, Cobra Kai. It's real relaxed, there's nothing to be nervous about coming down and starting jiu-jitsu. And usually when you have a couple of sessions, you'll be hooked on it then,
Yeah. Absolutely. So get down to you guys. So 7 o'clock every night you have classes. And
7 o'clock every night, or Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 a.m.
10 a.m. Fantastic. So just get in contact with you guys online and
D15 Academy or Cards and Gracie Ireland is on Facebook, Instagram, or at d15academy.com. Do you want me to give out the number?
Absolutely do, yeah.
Yeah, the number is 087 335
yeah
1355.
Grand. We can give that out again before the end of the show at some point as well. Brilliant. And you're located out in Coolmine as well, aren't you? You're in the Coolmine Industrial Estate.
Yeah, Coolmine Industrial Estate.
So people can find you out there.
Yeah, for sure. We're on Google Maps there as well. Oh, it's easy to find.
Grand. Brilliant. Well, thanks very much for joining us on the show, Conor.
No, that's brilliant. Thanks for having me on.
Great speaking to you. Best of luck.